Flores. Supervisor Stevens.
Here. All right, if we could stand for their invocation, led by Pastor Dan Callaghan with Legacy Baptist Church.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with humble hearts, knowing that without you, our efforts are empty. We ask for your presence to fill this place by guiding our conversations, every decision, every heart in this room. May this not just be another meeting, but a moment where your wisdom leads the way. We also pray for the families, Lord, of each person here and those leading our city. Protect their homes, strengthen the relationships, and remind them that their service matters, not just the people around them, but to you. And Father, we lift up our first responders, the men and women who step into the unknown every single day. Lord, be their shield, their peace, their ever-present help in times of trouble. Lord, we ask that you provide the resources, the leadership, and the unity we need to make this a safer and stronger community. Above all, may we never forget the true wisdom, justice, and peace comes from you. In Christ's name, amen.
All right, if we can get the CAO of the Yuba-Sutter Fair lead us in the pledge. Dave Dilbu.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, if I can get my fellow supervisors to meet me out front. We have a few presentations to hand out this afternoon.
Will Paul Danchek of CSAC's California Counties Foundation please join the board to introduce the CSAC Institute graduates?
Chair Ziegenmeyer, supervisors, I want to thank you for your leadership and vision in bringing a CSAC campus to our region, to both Sutter and Yuba campuses, and that of the vision of CAO Smith as well, of really seeing it as a joint opportunity of partnering with your neighboring county. I'm excited today to come in celebration of recognizing 20 graduates of the CSAC Institute. Since 2008, there's been over 2,000 across the state, and they joined a large alumni network within that space. We know that professional development works. We see it in the level of engagement and motivation that employees bring back to their departments and agencies. We also see it in the level of skills that they bring back to be able to teach those that are behind them. So on working with their teams, for example, on focusing on professional development in the public service leadership space and also governance and what it means at the county level. And we're really excited to be able to do that today. I noted I come in celebration. There's a great quote from DeWitt Jones, who was a photographer for the National Geographic, and he said that we must celebrate what's right with the world in order to find the energy to fix what's wrong. And I love coming and being able to present in front of the board this celebration of exemplars within your teams who are just doing amazing work, both in the professional development space, in the training side of the house, and also being able to give back into the respective counties and communities. With that, I'm happy to answer questions if there's questions. Otherwise, I'm happy to recognize the individuals by name. Yeah, great. Janet Amaya from HHS Children's. And as you're coming up to receive your credential and pin, if you'll stick around in the front so we can take a group photo at the end. Now, Preet Abwal, HHS Employment and Eligibility. Scott Bowden, Agriculture. Tara Cole, Health and Human Services, Behavioral Health. Jennifer Dupre, District Attorney. Laura Granados from County Administrator's Office. Kim Johal, HHS Social Services. Lexi Kidd, HHS Public Health. Nicole Kroner, General Services. Rebecca Mendoza, Agriculture. Nicole Norman Stratton, Probation. Leah Northrop, HHS Public Health. Nicholas Oliver, Agriculture. Shauna Pohacker, HHS Public Health. Manjeet Rise, General Services. Matt Robertson, County Administrator's Office. Elizabeth Sandoval, HHS Human Resources. Ken Sara, General Services. Joseph Tudos, General Counsel. Jamie Yang, County Administrator's Office. Congratulations, graduates.
Yeah, and I just want to say a huge congratulations to all you that went through the Institute. I was fortunate enough 8 years ago when I first became a new supervisor to actually have Bill at the new supervisors training, and I loved every bit of that training. Bill was an amazing guy, great teacher, learned a lot from him, and I graduated from the Institute about 3 years ago. And it was a fun course, great course, loved meeting everyone. I'm just excited, 20, wow, has to be a record for Sutter County, 20 in 1 year. This is amazing, great job, great effort, absolutely outstanding, thank you.
Ken. That's what I was going to say. We only missed a few people in the audience.
Where were you?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right. Congratulations. All right. Congratulations.
Will Dave Dillabo please join the board to receive a certificate of recognition on behalf of the Yuba-Sutter Fair Board of Directors?
Absolutely, we'd love to have everyone from the fair. Please come on in.
We have a very minimal
The Sutter County Board of Supervisors wishes to recognize the Yuba-Sutter Fair Board of Directors for their outstanding leadership, dedication, and commitment to preserving and promoting the traditions of the Yuba-Sutter Fair. Your service and stewardship has enhanced opportunities for agriculture, education, youth development, and community engagement in the Yuba-Sutter region.
If you get a chance when you go to the fair this week, or please go to the fair and walk around and see everything that's going on, not just the rides, but the ag auction, the equipment auction, everything. It is absolutely first class. When you walk through what Dave and his team has set up there, it is first class, second to nothing out there in the state of California. I mean, from the grounds to where the animals are kept, to the pens, everything from the foundation. Everything is such a well-oiled machine. It's because of the volunteers. I mean, and we're fortunate enough to have one of the fair board of directors right here in Supervisor Baines. And I'm just really excited, especially, it seems like every year this fair has gotten better and better. I love everything about it, the signs along the hall right there. But we'd like to hear from Dave.
Oh, sure. Nothing like being put on the spot, right? Well, on behalf of the Yuba-Sutter Fair Board of Directors, and I do have Mr. Joe Serger, one of my board members here, as well as Michelle Vincent, who also works for us in terms of our marketing. On behalf of everybody at the fair and our staff, we're very appreciative of receiving this recognition. And yes, we are super excited about this week. It's kind of shocking that I'm actually able to get away for a little bit. But again, so thankful for the county for recognizing us. And again, we'd love to certainly invite you all to come out to the fair. And again, like Mike was talking about, you know, whether they're there for the carnival, the exhibits, the livestock, or you just want to go out there and socialize and go there and have a good time with your family. Those are all available at the fair. And we try to make this, the one thing it is, it's for the community. And when we have a very diverse community, and we try to bring in entertainment, we try to bring in food, we try to bring in venues that are acceptable, and everybody, there's something there for everybody to see and have some value to it. But along with that, probably one of the most important things about the fair is we can't do this by ourselves. And Mike talked about a little bit about the staff and our volunteers, but a big portion of what makes this fair work is our community and all the supporters and sponsors that we have. And again, we're so appreciative of everybody's support. This year, Adventist Health came on as our presenting sponsor, which was amazing and certainly helped us in terms of a lot of the values that we're able to bring to our community this year, along with all of our supporters and sponsors. I think we have almost 90 sponsors this year, thanks to our marketing team. So again, we're very appreciative of everybody's support. And again, I would love to have y'all at the fair this year, Thursday through Sunday. Have you looked at the temperatures? It's awesome. It's epic. It's like mid 80s, low 90s. So definitely weather for the entire family to come out and enjoy it and make some memories. And that's what it's all about. So thank you all so very much. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Will Kristen Kircher, the recipient of the NBC Sports Bay Area in California and Provident Credit Union 2026 All-Star Teacher Award, please join the board?
The mic.
Okay, so we're just gonna skip the video.
We need it on the mic though for recording.
Oh, okay, all right.
That part works.
So if you go on to NBC Sports, which is Bay Area in California, you can see that the top, the big one they're trying to play, which has my lovely student Cora and Cheyenne, who's in my class, and Sarah is in there. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. But the NBC Sports came to my classroom and recorded me teaching. It was all a surprise. I was on a cruise with my mom. I try to travel with my mom every year. And I finally got Wi-Fi, and I saw an email, and it had my daughter's name on it, it had my name on it, it had my principal's name on it. I thought, what is this spam? Like, how would they have all these numbers together? And I started reading it, and I realized I had been nominated by my daughter for an All-Star Teacher Award. And she obviously has lived with me all the way until out of college. And she has seen what I've done her whole life. And she just one day thought she would just fill out some form and write an essay. And then NBC, out of maybe 1,200 candidates, they introduced me to the committee who looked at all of the people who were nominated. And I was chosen 5 out of all of them. So there were 5 of us finalists. They came to all of our schools, they recorded us teaching, and then after that I was invited to the NBC's, let me start over. I was invited to the Giants game on Memorial Day, where I was interviewed live on camera before the game started. It was quite an experience. I met Bruce Bochy. I didn't even know who he was. I sat and talked with him for, 25 minutes. And I asked him if he'd sign a ball for me, and I left. And I didn't, until I got out of there, I didn't realize who I was talking to. But people were like, wow, you got his signature. And all I want is a signature to bring back to the school so that we could maybe do an auction and try and earn some money for the school in case I didn't win. But they aired that live, and then I just recently went to the Giants game and stood with the 5 finalists, and that's on, there's a video of me being interviewed again on there. So all the videos are on there. And after I won, which honestly, it was such an honor to win, I was standing with some amazing educators. I literally could not believe that out of those 5 people I won. But honestly, looking back, I'm sad. I am so honored to be in this community because it wasn't about me. I won in the beginning. My daughter nominated me, that was me winning. After that, it was our community. I mean, people I didn't know from all over, other states across the United States were voting for me. They told me at the Giants game, they came, the NBC, the marketing head of, I don't know, the important people were there. And they came up and they said, do you know that people from all over the United States were voting for you? Even people, not even our country. Because my son and my daughter and both my boys, they're all really good at marketing and IT. And they said, we need QR codes. So we're doing QR codes. You need a website. Okay, I need a website. You need to do videos on YouTube. I don't know how do you do a video on YouTube? You need to make reels. What's a reel? I didn't know any of those things. But people from everywhere, just everywhere, our downtown area. My poster was put up all over downtown Yuba City, and I'd sit at a restaurant and someone would say, oh, that's you. I'm voting for you. That's you. I'm like, I guess that is me. But this community, if it wasn't for, I knew if it wasn't for everybody here, I would not have won. The Punjabi event at the fairgrounds, we had a booth there. You were announcing for me, and I was so grateful. People at other schools that aren't even my school were voting for me. People I don't even know, like everywhere were voting. It was absolutely a surreal and honoring experience. So I think you're seeing the sounds going. I can hear it in the background. And this award is just like the gift that keeps giving. I cannot wait to use the $30,000 that we won at our school library, Barry Elementary School. You think about the changes you can make with $30,000. I mean, what's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and how many children for generations we can impact with a better space and more relevant books, just everything. I mean, I'm just so grateful. So I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the supervisors for having me here and our community overall, because if it wasn't for this community that we live in, like he was saying at the fair, you know, it is the community that did this. It's not me. I mean, I tried the best every day, but our community voted, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, one more time. One more time. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you again. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Will Veronica Baumgartner and Jason Clonch please join the board to receive a proclamation recognizing June 2026 as National Safety Month in Sutter County? The cost of unintentional injuries to Americans and their employers exceeds $853 billion each year and causes great suffering among individuals and their families. Preventing unintentional injuries require the cooperation of all levels of government, employers, and the general public. The goal of the National Safety Council is to raise awareness and seek opportunities to educate Americans about these alarming and preventable mishaps through education. The National Safety Council and Sutter County work to promote policies, practices, and procedures leading to increased safety and health information, education, training, and advocacy. Under the guidance of the Human Resources Department, Sutter County works to assure the safety of all Sutter County employees by setting and enforcing standards, providing training, outreach and education, and continual improvement in workplace safety and health. The Sutter County Board of Supervisors do hereby proclaim the month of June 2026 as National Safety Month and encourage all employees and citizens to participate in raising their awareness in the practice of safe and healthy behaviors in all aspects of their lives.
No, hey, without no microphone, great job. Way to keep everyone safe. Safety is the best right there. And every job site, everything, every aspect of what we do, we put safety first, and we're lucky to have individuals like yourself that help everyone stay in line and stay safe. Thank you. Oh, our CAO has got a quick comment. Here you go.
I just wanted to mention we have a safety audit every year. And recently we had Trindell Insurance come down. And they mentioned to us that not only are we, I think, the largest or maybe second largest county in the organization now, but we're far exceeding the safety standards. I think it was about workers' comp, right? So we have some of the lowest experience despite being the largest county, and it's up to folks like these that make it all happen, and then down through the departments, everyone having a mindset of safety. So it saves us millions of dollars over the years, and just very appreciative of you.
Yeah, Steve had mentioned the individuals throughout the department, but I do want to thank the department safety reps. They do a lot behind the scenes to really promote the safety and wellness culture throughout the county. So thank you to the DSRs.
right, we're going to move on to public comment. Members of the public will be allowed to address the board on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Board of Supervisors. State law provides that no discussion or action may be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. All right, and on the consent calendar, we are pulling item number 23. All right. The consent calendar groups together items which are considered non-controversial or for which prior policy direction has been given to staff and that require only routine action by the board. The chair will advise the audience that matters may be adopted in total by one motion. However, the board may, at its option or upon request of a member of the public, consider any matter separately.
Excuse me, Chair, we do have 3 public comments.
All right.
The first is Tina Hessong.
Good afternoon. I am an authorized electorate in Sutter County, and I wish to assert my rights under California Election Code 16100 D, F, and G. I served you this letter yesterday. Dear Supervisors, Registrar, and Sheriff, the purpose of this notice is to ask for an opportunity to address the entire board and/or to present a claim contesting the certification of any election results at the next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Supervisors. I am also requesting that the board direct the Register of Voters to respond to the request for information below. I invite your attention to California Election Code Section 16100 D, which states in part, any elector of the county, city, or of any political subdivision of either may contest any election held therein for any of the following causes. D, that illegal votes were cast. The factual basis of my request is that it is common knowledge that there has been a flood of illegal aliens into the state of California, its counties, its cities, and its school districts. Those non-citizens have apparently been allowed to register with the Department of Motor Vehicles. With that registration, these non-citizens have been provided with voter registration and election ballots. It is also common knowledge that investigative reporters have discovered that some illegal alien non-citizens have in fact voted. Providing these non-citizens voter registration and election ballots gives you, the members of the Board of Supervisors, and you, the Registrar of Voters, the legal basis to set aside the election and deny its certification due to the number of illegal voters as set forth in the California Elections Code 16100, specifically subsection D. These incontrovertible facts give you, Sheriff, not only the right, but the obligation to investigate voter fraud. If the board and registrar certify the election, they will be committing a felony. 1.0, the board and the registrar. Would you please provide me and the person who served this letter on you the process and identity of all officers, employees, and volunteers engaged in the collection and counting of ballots, including the disqualification of ballots and voter verification? As a voter in the state, as is the server of this letter named below, we object to our votes being diluted by the votes of those not legally eligible to vote. We also object to any compounding of a felony by certifying any election results. Thank you for promptly responding to this letter and giving me an audience with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Next, please.
Next speaker is Martha Sheeler.
Thank you. Thank you for paying attention while I speak. I appreciate it. County Council, thank you for listening. I'm speaking to you regarding California Election Codes 16100 F and G, and I just lost it. F, that the precinct board in conducting the election or in canvassing the returns made errors sufficient to change the result of the election as to any person who has been declared elected. G, that there was an error in the vote counting programs or summation of ballot counts. The California Department of Motor Vehicles is essentially granting rights of citizenship without federal authority in acts of malignant neglect. You don't want to do malignant neglect today. Every time a DMV application results in a non-citizen voting in this county, it is a deprivation of Tina's civil rights. Deprivation of rights. Look it up. It's not a small matter. When you vote to accept this certification in your official capacity as a member of the governing board of Sutter County, you are stating that you accept the assertion by your registrar of voters that every vote that was counted was cast by a legal voter, which we know is not true. This would be a false assertion based on the facts in the letter you were served yesterday. How can you vote to accept the certification? You need to ask yourself this question. It would be great if you looked at me while I spoke. Can you, in good conscience, violate the civil rights of every voter in this county by accepting a certification that is on its face fraudulent? One vote makes it fraudulent. The Federalist number 3, the pride of states as well as of men naturally disposes them to justify all their actions and opposes their acknowledging, correcting, or repairing their errors and offenses. Please do not comfort yourselves in pride by blaming others for what you are about to do. This duty on behalf of your constituents rests solely upon you. Vote no on the certification. You will not be innocent if you vote to certify a fraudulent election. Just take a break, figure it out. Just vote no today.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Our last speaker is Tony Farley.
Tony Farley, Norfolk City, 20 Willow Creek Drive. Thank you, Carm Baines, for a service. Thank you, Jeff Stevens, Pumpkin Farmhouse, for a service. I like your pumpkin pie. It's very nice. Jeff Stevens, thank you for your service. Darth Vader, Dark Side Down Floors, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, Mike Ziegemeyer for a service. Thank you, Jeff Boone for a service. Thank you, Frederick Steve Smith for a service. Thank you, Perry Mason for a service. Thank you, Commandant Marine Corps Scott Hansen for a service. Thank you, 2-Star for a service. 2-Star. Thank you, Young Cadet Deputy for a service. Thank you, thank you, Sarah Lookalike over there for a service. Thank you, Airman, John Airman for a service. Thank you, thank you, Seth Ford Lookalike for a service. Seth Ford right there, the tax guy for a service. Thank you, T. Hesson for a service. Thank you, Sarah Rodriguez for a service. Sarah Rodriguez for her service. Thank you, Sacramento guy here. Sacramento guy for his service. Jim Cooper from Sacramento Sheriff's Department. Thank you, Neil, for his service. Thank you, Margaret Bugard for his service. Thank you, Jamie. Me, Jamie, we look alike. Thank you for Jamie for his service. Thank you, Jennifer, DA, for her service. Charlie's Angels, man. And thank you, Laura, for her service. And thank you, Todd Russ for his service. And thank you, and thank you, handsome guy over there for his service. Thank you for your service. It's Zachary Hamel, the phrase Zachary Hamel for service.
Excuse me, Tony. I have an agenda item comment that you'd like to speak on, item number 15, the consent calendar. Would you like to go ahead and speak on it now?
Yes, the conservatorship. It's Sarah Barrios about the conservatorship services. The conservatorship. So it's June 2027 when the conservatorship service expire, right? And Sarah's in charge of conservatorship, right? Sarah's charged conservatorship by the probate law and the mental health 50 law, Lambert, the Latin Man Act, LPS. Sarah, and conservators.
All right. Thank you, Tony.
The
Sorry, Sarah,
conservatorship?
we're not, unless someone wants to pull the item to discuss it, but it's in the consent. Okay. Did someone want to pull it so we could speak about it? Okay, Sarah, go ahead. Well, then we'll pull an item, open up the item so we can speak about it. All right, go.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for the question, Tony. Yes,
Thank you.
that's correct. That is when the MOU will expire in 2027.
Thank you, 10-4, thank you.
All right, thank you, Sarah. All right, with that being said, we'll bring it back to the board. We'll close the public comment period, bring it back to the board for discussion.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to move to consent, removing item number 23.
And the other.
Second.
Didn't you just pull the other item as well?
No.
No, we just let her
just left
discuss it.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
just left
Okay.
it.
All right, we have
Thank
a
you.
second over here.
All right, we have a motion by Supervisor Baines, second by Supervisor Stevens. Can we get a roll call, please?
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, moving on to, we're going to adjourn as the Board of Supervisors and open up as the Waterworks District 1. We're going to let the roll call stand.
Excuse me?
No, we pulled it. All right. Members of the public will be allowed to address the Waterworks District 1 Board of Directors on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. State law provides that no action may be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. Appearance item 1.
Good afternoon, Board. I'm Laura Granados, your Assistant County Administrator. And the 26-27 Waterworks District 1 recommended budget has been presented on several occasions this budget season, providing the public opportunities for review and comment. Following last week's budget hearings, no additions or revisions were proposed, and there is no county general fund impact with this budget unit. Therefore, staff respectfully requests adoption of the 26-27 Waterworks District 1 recommended budget with total appropriations at $594,985.
Thank you, Laura. All right, we're going to open up public comment. No public comment. We're going to close the public comment, bring it back for the board
Chair.
discussion. Yes.
I will make a recommendation that we accept the budget as presented. Second.
We have a motion by Supervisor Stevens, second by Supervisor Flores. Can we get a roll call, please?
Director Boone?
Aye.
Director Flores?
Aye.
Director Ziegenmeier?
Aye.
Director Baines?
Aye.
Director Stevens?
Aye.
All right, that will conclude that, and we're going, no closed session. We're going to adjourn as the Waterworks District 1 Board of Directors and convene as the In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority Governing Board. We're going to let the roll call stand. Members of the public will be allowed to address the In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority Board of Directors on items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board. State law provides that no action may be taken on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. First appearance item.
Adoption of a resolution authorizing the Sutter County In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority to join the Golden State Risk Management Authority for the provision of general liability insurance coverage for fiscal year 2026 to 27 in an amount not to exceed $37,686, and authorization for the Public Authority Board Chair or their designee to execute the required membership documents.
Good afternoon, Chair and Supervisor. My name is Chuck Yang from Health and Human Services In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority. Today, we're asking your board to adopt a resolution to authorize Sutter County In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority to join the Golden State Risk Management Authority, GSRMA, for general liability insurance for the 5 staff at the Public Authority's office. In October 2002, Sutter County In-Home Supportive Services Public Authority was established by county ordinance pursuant to Welfare and Institutions Code Section 12301.6 as a separate legal entity from the county. Under the ordinance, it requires the public authority to maintain all necessary insurance coverage. The public authority currently contracts with the county for staff services pursuant to a MOU between the county and the public authority. Under the MOU, the county provides personnel services for public authority employees and certain insurance coverage. Currently, the public authority is included in the county's risk pool with Chandel Insurance Fund for workers' compensation and cybersecurity only. The Public Authority separately participates with the Public Risk Innovation Solutions and Management PRISM for liability insurance. The Public Authority reviewed available liability coverage options, including the current program PRISM and membership with Golden State Risk Management Authority. Golden State Risk Management Authority offers comprehensive general liability coverage with a total limits of $50 million and first dollar coverage, meaning that the Public Authority would not be responsible for self-insured retention or deductible for liability as required in the PRISM program. The GSRMA is for fiscal year 26-27 is the cost for that is $37,686. Based on the Public Authority's separate legal status and review of the options, it appears that membership with the Golden State Risk Management Authority is recommended because it provides a broader overall limits, first dollar liability coverage, and more straightforward structure for the Public Authority as a separate legal entity. There is no impact on county general fund. Adequate appropriation is included in the recommended fiscal year 26-27 budget. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. We're going to open up the public comment, no public comment. We're going to close the public comment, bring it back for the board for discussion. Any discussion? Looking for a motion.
Move approval of the recommended action.
Second.
All right, we got a motion by Supervisor Flores, second by Supervisor Baines. Can we get a roll call, please?
Director Boone?
Aye.
Director Flores?
Aye.
Director Ziegenmeier?
Aye.
Director Baines?
Aye.
Director Stevens?
Motion passes. Moving on to item number 2.
Adoption of the fiscal year 2026-27 in-home supportive services Public Authority recommended budget in the amount of $1,342,884.
Laura Granados, your Assistant County Administrator again. The 26-27 in-home support services recommended budget has been presented several times this budget season, and it's provided the public opportunities for review and comment. Following last week's budget hearing, there were no additions or revisions to the proposed budget, and there is no county general fund impact with this budget unit. Therefore, staff respectfully requests adoption of the 26-27 in-home support services recommended budget with total appropriations at $1,342,884.
Thank you, Laura. We're going to open up the public comment period. No public comment. Bring it back for the board for discussion.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Move approval of the recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion by Supervisor Flores, second by Supervisor Baines. Can we get a roll call, please?
Director Boone?
Aye.
Director Flores?
Aye.
Director Ziegenmeier?
Aye.
Director Baines?
Aye.
Director Stevens?
Thank you. All right, and we are going to no closed session items, so we're going to adjourn as the in-home supportive service Public Authority Governing Board of, and reconvene as the Board of Supervisors, and we'll let the roll call stand. First appearance item number 28.
Receive a presentation on the Meals on Wheels Yuba-Sutter program.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. Can you all hear me? All right. So I am Ty Love on behalf of Lisa Valenzuela, who could not be here today. And I will be presenting on the Meals on Wheels for Yuba and Sutter counties. Okay. All right. Oh, perfect. Okay, here we are. So forgive me, sometimes my vision is a little blurred, so I may not be able to see everything. So, all right, so I'm gonna talk to you today about 2 different programs. One, the Meals on Wheels, and then also our Dine Around Town program. But before we get into that, let me tell you a little bit about Area 4 Agency on Aging, which we facilitate the Dine Around Town and Meals on Wheels program. So for those of you who have not heard of us, Area 4 Agency on Aging, or AAA4, we are one of 33 area agencies in California designated by the state to develop, coordinate, and fund programs designed to help older adults stay independent with their health and maintain their health and independence. So we do operate as a nonprofit, but we do have joint powers authority with the counties of Nevada, Placer, Sacramento, Sierra, Yuba, and Sutter counties, and Yolo. We also fund and monitor programs provided by the community-based organizations with funding under the Older Americans Act. We also provide direct services using available grant sources and collaborate with other organizations depending on the need and the opportunities. All right, so the mission of Area 4, we are into enriching the lives of older adults and people with disabilities by fostering networks of support, advocating for individual choice, collaborating with others, ensuring equity, and striving to do so with conviction. The vision of Area 4 is an ageist and ableist-free society. All right, so I did mention that we have 2 programs in Yuba and Sutter County that I was going to touch on. The first one is the Meals on Wheels, which is our Title III C2 program. And so the Meals on Wheels, it is our home-delivered meal program, and it was established by federal and state regulations. Through that program, I will let you know that we do provide about 5 meals for each person for each week. It does give us an opportunity to provide wellness and safety checks, provide nutrition support, and provide referral connections to community resources. So you may be wondering, how do you become a participant for Meals on Wheels? Well, bless you. You do need to be at least 60 or older, or a spouse of a participant of any age, as long as the participant is receiving those the meals, or a person with a disability living with a program participant. As I mentioned, we do cover the Yuba and Sutter County areas, but for here, Sutter County, we do cover Yuba City, Live Oak, Sutter, and Nicholas. Okay. All right. So because we are in high demand, or our program is in high demand, we do have a little bit of a wait list. We do have to screen individuals to make sure that they do meet the, in addition to the basic criteria of being 60 or older, there are other factors that we look at, such as nutrition risk, their homebound status, their activities of daily living, their living arrangements, malnutrition, the access to food and meals, and if they have exceptional high-risk conditions. So we do screen, and for 4 different priority levels. We have priority 1, which is a high risk. For those folks, we try to add them onto the program immediately. We have the priority 2, which is a moderate risk, and those are individuals who present notable concerns that may impact health or independence and should receive timely service. We have our priority 3, which are minimal risk individuals. They show limited risk factors, and services may be appropriate, but they're not as urgent as the priority 1 or 2. And then we also have the priority 4, which is the low risk, and those are individuals that present minimal to no identifiable risk factors, and those are our lowest service priority. Okay. All right, why do we prioritize? As I mentioned, because we do have a little bit of a wait list. Right now, we have about, in Sutter County, we have about 55 older adults on the wait list. 27% are priority 2s, and then we have about 67% that are priority 3 and priority 4. All All right. Any questions? Or do I take questions? No questions.
All right, we'll open
and
up for
then-
public.
oh, I'm
Sorry,
sorry.
no, you
I'm
carry
sorry.
on, you're fine.
Okay, and then I was going to talk about the Dine Around Town program, which is our Title III program, C1 program, and that is considered to be our congregate meal program. So the program purpose is to increase socialization and community engagement in the congregate dining, but we're a little different because we utilize local restaurants. Okay, and so what we do is we provide meal vouchers where they can go to the program or to the restaurants and they can enjoy a meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner at any time they want. Okay, so we provide meal flexibility and it's for active older adults. So how does this program work? Enrolled participants, they receive 10 approved meal vouchers. The restaurants that we partner with, we do have a dietitian on staff and they work with the restaurants to make sure that we are meeting those guidelines, the guidelines and then also the safety. So they get 10 meal vouchers per month, which they can use to redeem breakfast, lunch, or dinner at the participating restaurants. It also is an opportunity for the local businesses, for us to support the local businesses while also serving older adults. Again, the menus, they are guided by the federal and state regulations. So we try to offer the nutritious meals. Right now, the current service structure, we are going through an open enrollment process and we're focused on Sutter County participants. We do have very, very, very limited Yuba County participation, and that's due to funding allocations and program capacity. All right, so some of the 2025-26 highlights for Meals on Wheels. For the program structure, we adjusted back to our baseline OAA, which is the Older Americans Act program funding, while continuing to prioritize services for individuals at the highest nutritional risk. We implemented tools such as the screening and prioritization criteria to identify individuals at highest risk on the wait list. In our operational improvements, we improved participant tracking and reporting. As far as community impact, we have reduced food insecurity among vulnerable older adults. We've provided daily wellness checks, helping identify emergency and health concerns, and support for aging in place. Sutter Health Collaboration Grant with Meals on Wheels, YOLO, we are in partnership with them, and it has given us the opportunity to be able to provide medically tailored meals to those older adults in need. So we do try to collaborate with local agencies, volunteers, and meal vendors. Okay. And just a side note, I have seen the community impact because I have been with the agency for about 22 years now. And so I am a program coordinator and I go into the homes and actually meet with the people. So I do get to see it in action. Okay. So we have served 18,416 home delivered meals, supporting older adults, which helps them to remain independent in their homes. So again, out of that, it's been 161 participants served. We had about 130 high nutrition risk, and then 74 with ADLs, needing ADLs assistance, the activities of daily living. Some Dine Around Town highlights. We continue congregate meal access for active older adults, maintain partnerships with participating restaurants, and right now we are partnering with Two Bits Express in Marysville, Two Bits Cafe, and Las Brasas Mexican restaurants here in Yuba City. We have monthly Dine Around Town meetings where we offer socialization, nutrition education, and local resource presentations. At those meetings, we also do provide catered meals, which we try to encourage social engagement for new participants, especially, and socialization. Yeah, didn't say that. Okay. All right. Even though it sounds all good, we do have challenges. Those challenges are increasing demand. As I mentioned before, we are in high demand for both programs, Meals on Wheels and Dine Around Town. So we have a rising number of older adults requesting home-delivered meals. We do have wait list pressures and limited funding capacity. Our funding limitations, we have nutrition funding, which is stretched across growing service needs, and then also with our rural services, or in our rural areas, we have difficult access in remote areas. So our current funding capacity, we are at 79 older adults that are currently served, and then we have about 55 older adults on the wait list. And again, this is for Meals on Wheels. Let's see, for 2026 and 27 program updates, we just went through our invitation for bid process, looking for meal vendors. This time, we have one sole provider, which is Two Bits Express in Marysville. And that's because there was a preference for local Yuba and Sutter vendors. So the new goal is 25% locally sourced food products, and to support the Food is Medicine initiatives. Have y'all heard of the Food is Medicine? Okay, perfect. So we want to focus on the meal quality and nutrition, variety and participant satisfaction, and fresh, locally sourced ingredients. The goal is to strengthen sustainable community-based nutrition services. And let's see, our 2026-27 goals. Goal 1, we want to reduce or eliminate the wait lists. And by that, we want to increase capacity for home-delivered meals and seek additional funding through community fundraising and partnerships. Our second goal, we want to make sure that we are strengthening our nutrition services. So we want to maintain meal quality and participant satisfaction, strengthen our referral network, continue our wellness and safety monitoring and follow-ups, our malnutrition screening for baseline data, and increase nutrition education and outreach. And so we also do that through our Food Smarts, which is evidence-based nutrition curriculum. Our third goal is we want to expand our community partnerships by increasing local business and donor engagement, strengthen the coordination with healthcare and community agencies, pursue grants and collaborative opportunities. And then our fourth goal is we want to make sure that we are improving our data and reporting by enhancing tracking of outcomes and participant needs, improve reporting capabilities for funding and oversight. All right, and then these are just a few testimonials from some of the older adults we serve, just saying how they appreciate our help. I won't go into that, but like I said, as a program coordinator, I do get to go into the homes, and so I do hear a lot of, the praises and how grateful the older adults are. So, all right, so there has never been a more critical time to get involved. People 85 plus represent the fastest growing segment of the American population, and the number of seniors as a whole is projected to double over the next 3 to 4 decades. So it will take a huge increase in volunteers and resources to begin to meet the need going forward. And so Meals on Wheels, we are a shining light on this growing and urgent need, and spark the community spirit of people just like you to help fill that need. All right. So, support the independence and well-being of older adults in Yuba and Sutter County. Did somebody say how? Volunteer. So the most common volunteer job is delivering meals. And with that, we provide friendly greetings to our homebound seniors. And for some of, or not some, but for a lot of our older adults, sometimes the meal delivery person or volunteer may be the only person that they are in contact with for that week or that, period. So it is important for our volunteers to provide that friendly greeting to them. So most typically this involves picking up meals at a central location and delivering them along a predetermined route directly to the homes of several seniors in the area. So we can set up a volunteer schedule that works with yours if you are interested. So whether that be once a week, once a month, or as needed, just mention your preferences when you all apply, right? Okay. All right. Also, you can donate. So Meals on Wheels is powered by people also just like you. Now is a critical time for you to protect these proven and effective programs by helping us fill funding gaps so no senior in Yuba and Sutter counties are forgotten. So together, we can protect the programs that support older adults' health and independence. If you are interested in making a donation, you can visit www.Yuba-Sutter.LIVE. And with that, this is our information. If you want to learn more about the Yuba-Sutter Meals on Wheels, you can also, like I mentioned before, visit the www.Yuba-Sutter.MOW.org. You can send us an email at Yuba-Sutter.MOW@agencyonaging4.org, or you can give us a call at 530-670-0033. Most times, if you call that number, it will be me on the other line, on the other side of that call. And I think, is that it? All right, so with that, thank you all for your time and for listening. And if you are interested in volunteering, we would love to have you. If you are interested in donating, we would love your donations, and we appreciate any and all contributions. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day.
Sorry, we have a few questions. We're gonna, first of all, we're gonna open up the public comment period. Any public comment? We're gonna close public comment period, bring it back for the board for discussion. Supervisor Stevens.
Hi, thank you for a very good and informative presentation. I know that the Meals on Wheels program has been using 2-bits for some time now. Is there any interest with other restaurants coming on board, or I give 2-bits a lot of credit for, doing the program.
Yes, so like I mentioned in the presentation, we went through the IFB, the invitation for bid earlier this year. And so we did put it out to anyone interested in the area. We did have quite a few folks or businesses apply, but I believe that we were wanting to make sure that they were local. Make sure they were local and then able to provide the services. And so 2-bits expressed they did when that bid. We used to also partner, or right now, we are also partnering with another restaurant in Sacramento. But again, we are doing local
Okay, I just, a lot of times I hear restaurants are struggling, and it looks like it would be a good opportunity to partner.
Yes.
And I don't know how, if the word gets out to them.
Yeah, so we did, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Okay.
cut you off. Yeah, I was gonna say, we do, when we do go out for the invitation for bid, we do send out the intent to different businesses so that they do have the opportunity to apply. And then there is a process where they have to fill out the application, and then they come for a bidders conference and, get other information. So we do try to make sure that everyone in the area has the opportunity to apply.
Is there any other agencies or services that are doing this, basically the same thing you're doing, or are you the sole provider around this area?
For Meals on Wheels, we are the sole provider as far as I know. I know that there's like local churches and food banks and things like that provide services, but we are the ones that are providing the home delivered meal program.
All right, thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you all again.
Thank you. Is there any other questions? All right, I have a few questions for you as well. Yeah, sorry. Now, this is, I was fortunate enough to serve 2 years on the Area for Agency Committee. And over those 2 years, I fought really hard to actually, for rural kitchens. In my district, we have a hall called the Sutter Youth Organization. And I pitched the idea because I've heard of other agencies doing it in their communities where they give grants out to communities, halls in those rural areas where they have an organization that comes through and cooks 1 day a week. And then they're able to distribute those meals. Because you have other counties throughout the state of California that when you see on her presentation was the delivery, where it's almost an hour to get to one location. Sutter County goes all the way to Riego Road. So we have to get meals from here all the way to Nicholas. Right now, we don't have any homes over there, but eventually. And I think it's amazing what you're doing, but like I said, I'm a cost guy. I'm always cost. One thing was never asked, what are the costs per the meals? Have you been able to find organizations, when I say organizations, some other nonprofits to coordinate with for those meals? I'm a big fan of what Supervisor Stevens was saying about, going through locally and saying, okay, local restaurants, this is it right here. Here's a heads up. And the one thing about us is not everyone's on social media, so not everyone sees everything. You just got to really blast it out there. Hey, quote this, quote this, quote this, because I've seen it firsthand in my 8 years of serving budgets doing this. And the cost of meals goes up, but the cost, the funding to make those meals goes down. So one of my questions was just even the last 4 years, where has funding gone? Because I remember they told us 2 years ago that, hey, this is what's going to happen. We're going to cut your funding here, here, here. And I'm like, but the costs are going up. And we are in a recession. I feel like we've been in a 5-year recession. And so how are we supposed to, how can we get meals for less? How can we, goes back to rural kitchens, grants for rural kitchens, so they could make meals cheaper.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I am not the numbers person. That was never my ministry, so I do apologize for that. But as far as the funding, we have had some funding cuts. We are trying to, with contracting this time with Two Bids Express solely, they are into more sourcing of more local food and resources, so that will hopefully help to cut costs. And then also we do have volunteer drivers, so and we have a couple paid, but most of our drivers are volunteers, so that also is a way that we cut costs. Did that answer your question partially?
No, I think, like I said, great job on the volunteers, great job. I think you guys are doing a great job for what you have. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm just asking that if you could, maybe we'll send a letter from the board here today we'll put that on our towards the end in district reports to advocate, to lobby for that. I think it's something that should be looked at, talked about in your meetings in funding for these different kitchens in the rural areas. You have Sierra, you know what I mean? And like I said, some of these other counties that are just, they have a longer drive through the mountainsides, and we talked about how meals would get cold by the time they got to their designation, and if they were somehow able to fund a kitchen in their area, they could be utilized and benefit the whole community. But I want to thank you for your presentation today. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
And we'll put some stuff together and we'll send it over.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right, moving on to item number 29, Donna.
Good afternoon, Honorable Board of Supervisors. I'm Donna Johnston, the Registrar of Voters. I do have to say, with Meals on Wheels, my sister does that. She's been doing it for a few years, volunteering, meeting people, and she finds it extremely rewarding. So if you have some extra time on your hands, I greatly recommend that you do that. All right, so today I wanted to talk to you about a new bill, Senate Bill 707. Senate Bill 707 increases the remote participation for board meetings. We fall under the eligible legislative body as a county that is over 3,000 residents. And because we exceed that threshold, we are subject to the requirements beginning July 1st. What that means for us is that we'll provide public access through a two-way telephonic or video platform. We're going to allow people to participate remotely. And we have we're going to be working with Zoom to use a Zoom platform for this. We've looked at other platforms. Zoom is the best suited for this type of purpose, and several other counties use a Zoom platform to meet these requirements. There is an exception if telephonic or internet service is unavailable. Meetings are held outside of the normal meeting location for authorized purposes, such as site inspections and so forth, or emergency meetings. What does that mean for county operations? So Zoom technology will be available for all Board of Supervisors meetings, all of your meetings. Meeting notices and agendas will include this remote participation information in the agenda. Staff, this crack staff I have sitting over here on my right-hand side, will monitor remote participation during meetings. And then what we're doing today is asking to you for a remote access disruption policy that's required to meet any technology failures. So if remote access is interrupted during a meeting, we are required to recess the meeting, attempt to restore the service up to at least 1 hour, resume the meeting if the service is restored within that hour, and if service is not restored within the hour, we can continue the meeting upon a roll call vote with certain findings, and those certain findings are good faith efforts were made to restore the service, and continuing the meeting serves the public interest more than the further delay. So with that, I'm asking for recommended action to adopt the remote access disruption policy to ensure compliance with Senate Bill 707, effective July 1st.
Thank you, Donna. We're going to open up the public comment period. No public comment. We'll close it, bring it back for the board for discussion.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Move approval of the recommended action.
Second.
We have a motion by Supervisor Flores, second by Supervisor Boone. Can we get a roll call, please?
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens?
Motion passes. Moving on to item number 30.
All right, that is me again. So we'll start off. This one's going to be a little more fun. This is talking about automating processes at the clerk recorder's office. So we looked at ways to better service our customers. We have some issues that questions can only be answered while we're there, meaning, 7 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or 3:30. Multilingual staff may not always be available for anybody who needs those services. We found that staff is guiding citizens through the website. Click here, go there. When you're on this page, go ahead and click this link. And staff are answering questions repetitively, which can lead to some inconsistencies, to be honest with you. So those are the issues that we were looking at, and we thought we've got to be able to do this better. and more cost effectively. So we conducted a survey. When customers called into our office, they said, we're doing a quick customer service survey. Before you called us, did you look at our website first, or did you just call us? And 40% used the website first and found it to be lacking, honestly, and so they ended up picking up the phone. 60%, though, actually called first without even looking at the website. So we figured we needed to take a two-prong approach for this. One is a chatbot on the website, and then the other one is an AI solution for incoming phone calls. This is something that your board approved a few weeks ago to allow us to enter into an agreement. So we entered in an agreement with a company called CityBot, who specializes in governmental bots that they place on websites. Here comes the hard part. What do we name it? We've got a mascot. We're going to put her on her or him or it on the website. And what should the mascot be? We wanted to make the bot friendly so people wouldn't be afraid to click on it. We also wanted to honor our rich agricultural history. So under much deliberation, a little help with ChatGPT so we can get the image just absolutely perfectly, we landed on peaches. So Peaches is going to be our little bot. She's going to be down in the bottom right-hand corner of the website. But when we were embarking on this journey, we were looking at only doing it for the clerk recorder because we felt we had a need. We've got special revenue funds, no general fund money, to pay for this. And going through this process, and IT helped us out tremendously. They found CityBot for us, so thank you, Ken, and your staff. We found out that we could, at no additional cost, roll it out across the entire county website. So we thought, why not? Peaches for all. So if you look at what Peaches can do, if you click on there and ask her any question, she's a her, sorry, about passports, it will take you to the information that's contained on our website. So it's going to comb through our website and grab the information that we have about passports. If you want to be talking about a building permit, or even start talking about a passport and then move to a building permit, she'll just automatically grab the information off the development services page and give that to you as well. Any kind of item that is on our website currently will go there. We do have a few external websites that it will take you to if you need to go there, and then the bot will let you know that it's doing that. The perfect thing about Peaches is that she speaks over 70 languages. So she speaks over 70 different languages with this bot. So if that's a service need that we're unable to meet right now, and that's something we can do in the future. So that is our website portal that'll be coming. We're going to be rolling this out towards the end of July, early August, but we're going to start doing some marketing campaign right now. So we wanted to go ahead and make sure everybody was aware of Peaches' existence. The other thing that we're going to do is Peaches is going to be on our when you call our office. So I'm not automatically going to be picked up by Peaches. She's going to announce that she is a digital agent, and then she's got certain keywords that she can transfer to other departments if they call about something and it's not quite what we need. We get calls for all sorts of things. I'm sure other departments get calls for other things as well that aren't necessarily theirs. But the bot will allow them to be transferred over, say, I'm going to transfer you over to development services, for instance, because you asked about a building permit. And we're employing this in English and Spanish to start with. So with that, it's just a little quick presentation. Just wanted to let you know that Peaches is on her way.
Thank you, Donna, and I want to applaud staff for literally, it seems like you guys are always trying to make our sites easily maneuverable and just make it simpler for everyone, especially the community, to be able to get on something and find it. I love it. I mean, you can get on our websites, find our budget book, go through the whole budget book, and we talked about our budget hearings from the graphs, everything. It's very simple, and it's because staff wanted to make it simple so anyone can look through the budget and see where everything is spent. Thank you. All right, with that, we are going to, open up public comment. No, bring it back for the board for discussion.
Can I ask one question, Donna? If I call the office, is it going to be Peaches that answers now, or is it going to be one of Gina or Stephanie?
Well, we're not employing it over at the board clerk. It's only at the clerk recorder's office. So
And
you'll still get
I have
Gina
a
and
question.
Stephanie. I don't know if they speak 70 languages. You'll have to ask them.
To the chair,
Yes.
I just wonder, does Peaches bark?
No, she would not bark at anybody. She's a very nice little puppy.
All right. So we are going to move on to item number 31.
Approval of Amendment Number 1 to the Independent Contractor Agreement with Four Leaf, maintaining the compensation amount not to exceed $45,000, and extending the term from March 31st, 2026 through June 30th, 2026, and authorization for the General Services Director or their designee to execute the amendment.
Good afternoon, Chair and Board of Supervisors. Neil Hay, Development Services, presenting this item. So this is just an amendment to an existing contract with no increase in value, and we're seeking just to extend the term of the contract retroactively from March 31st until June 30th. Four Leaf was originally the building plan check consultant that reviewed the plans, the model home plans for Lakeside at Sutter Pointe. With the change to latitude Margaritaville, the developers asked that the county ask Four Leaf to check the new exterior elevations of the homes because of the changes to latitude Margaritaville. Consequently, all the work and all the documents didn't get transferred in time and then be reviewed. So we had to extend the contract through the end of this fiscal year, June 30th, so the work could be completed. Once again, the contract amount fully reimbursable through the developers, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
We're going to open up the public comment period. No public comment. All right.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Move approval of the recommended action.
Second.
All right. Good. A motion by Supervisor Flores, second by Supervisor Baines. Can I get a roll call, please?
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeier?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Moving on to item number 32.
Approval of Williamson Act contract amendments, rescinding contracts number 01-39 and 01-47, and simultaneously adopting new contracts number U26-0009 and number U26-0014 to reflect property line modifications proposed by lot line adjustment number M26-0006.
And from Development Services, our senior planner, Casey, will present this item for you.
So yes, Casey Murray, Senior Planner. This item is a request to rescind and replace two existing Williamson Act contracts to facilitate property line modifications proposed by lot line adjustment. So the existing contracts were approved and recorded in December of 2001. Each contract consists of a single parcel, with one being approximately 532 acres and one being approximately 91 acres. The proposed lot line adjustment will result in one parcel being approximately 442 acres and one being approximately 181 acres. The Government Code Section 51257 allows the property owner and the county to mutually agree to rescind the existing contracts and enter into new contracts to facilitate the lot line adjustment. Each resultant parcel is proposed to be placed under a separate contract. While the county isn't entering into new Williamson Act contracts that would add additional acreage under contract, the proposed contract amendments will not result in a net increase in the amount of acreage restricted. So if this item is approved, the existing contracts will be rescinded and the new contracts will be recorded with the revised property line descriptions approved by the lot line adjustment. So staff is recommending that the board approves this project with the findings as listed in the staff report. I'll take any questions you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. Okay, we're going to open up for public comment. We have one public comment. All right.
The speaker is Gina Burke-Tarkey.
Hi, I'll be brief.
Is the mic on?
Oh, just
There
thank
we
you,
go.
Gina.
Sorry, I'll be brief. I'm Gina Burke-Tarkey, and I'm representing Tarkey Brothers Estate LLC and the respective family members. This project in front of you is part of a larger project that we're doing as a family, and it's very important to us. The Tarkey family's been farming since the 1850s in Sutter County, and the current larger project that we're working on, we are transferring 34 parcel numbers and about 3,600 acres of property to the fifth and sixth generations of the Tarkey family. We're working to preserve the family legacy of land ownership and farming while preserving family harmony. And we've been working on this for almost 4 years, and the proposal in front of you is one of my last ones to make happen. So there are 5 family groups with 14 stakeholders as part of this. I'm technically not a stakeholder, I'm just the project manager. And the APN in question today, as Mr. Murray has said, we're not really changing anything. We just had to break apart the contracts and put them back together because they were, the APNs were attached in a way that we wanted to do differently. The biggest thing to know is the way we've split the property aligns exactly with the way we currently farm it. So there will be no changes to the property on a physical day-to-day basis. And it'll allow for 2 of our family entities to own and operate the properties independently, which is the goal of our family project. So I respectfully request that you approve the project as proposed and allow us to move forward with preserving our family farming legacy as we transfer these properties to the next generation. I also want to take a moment to just a shout out for Mr. Murray. He has been extremely professional and communicative with me on this entire project that's been going on for several months with his department, and I just really appreciate that professionalism. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Is there any other public comment? All right. With that, we'll close the public comment period, bring it back for the board to discussion.
To the chair.
Yes, sir.
I have a question regarding the renewal of the Williamson Act. What is the existing years that are remaining on this parcel today? Do we know?
Through the chair, it's 9 years. We've constantly, every year.
I understand, but before we divided it, how many years was left on the existing Williamson Act on this parcel?
Every parcel in Sutter County is all 9 years.
Is it 9 years, every year it's 9 years again?
Every year,
No.
yes.
No, but there probably was 5 years left on this parcel, or no? Does anybody know?
No, it auto renews every December, or
Yes.
actually every January.
Oh, I thought we did a 9-year thing or something.
No, and for those that, Supervisor Boone, thank you for asking the question, for asking that, but Sutter County is one of few counties that has respected the Williamson Act through the state of California. Yuba County does not have the Williamson Act, we still do. Other thing, Rich, you gotta speak, your family, the Tarkey brothers, Richard and Lewis, oh my gosh, that's history right there. I'm so glad that you all still farm, and hopefully when we're long gone, there's still more Tarkeys over there farming on that side of the river. I love seeing the pictures of Richard and Lewis. Great.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Move to approve. Second.
We got a motion by Supervisor Bain, second by Supervisor Flores. Get a roll call, please.
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeyer?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 33. We're almost done.
Introduction of an ordinance adopting amendments to the Sutter County zoning code to incorporate revisions regarding small and large general truck yards, waive the full reading, direct the clerk to read the title only, and continue the item to July 14th, 2026 for adoption.
Good afternoon, Neil Hay once again from Development Services. So on May 12th, your board considered and ultimately approved zoning code text amendments that provided some of the changes to the zoning code for general truck yards in the M1 and M2 designated areas. This is the follow-up, the ordinance that would make those changes to our zoning code. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
We'll open up the public comment period. Any public comment? No. We'll close the public comment period. I'll bring it back to board for discussion. See no discussion. Looking for a motion.
Move to approve. I'll second
And a
that.
motion by Supervisor Baines, second by Supervisor Flores. Can I get a roll call, please?
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeyer?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens?
Aye. Motion passes. Item number 34.
Excuse me, Chair, may I please read the ordinance?
Oh, yes, please. Sorry, read the ordinance, please.
An ordinance of the County of Sutter amending certain sections of Chapter 1500 of the Ordinance Code, incorporating revisions regarding small and large general truck yards within the unincorporated county. Adoption of the Sutter County Drought Resilience Plan pursuant to Senate Bill 552.
This is Han. Hi. Thank you for your time this afternoon. My name is Scott Garda. I'm an emergency services coordinator within the Office of Emergency Management. And today I'm coming to ask the board to adopt the Sutter County Drought Resiliency Plan in accordance with Senate Bill 552 and to authorize the county administrator and emergency operations manager to implement the plan. So why do we need this? The county needed a coordinated way to understand and respond to risks facing domestic wells and state small water systems. And I have a graphic next slide to explain what those are specifically. The county lacked a unified process for assessing vulnerability and organizing response actions. And of course, the legislative requirement, SB 552 requires counties to develop a drought resiliency plan and maintain a standing drought resilience task force. And on the map, all the little yellow dots are domestic wells, and the purple dots are state small water systems. And just an important distinction that the domestic wells, it is not agricultural use, it is residential. So this handy dandy graphic shows what systems this plan covers. So the scale breaks up the different water systems in California based on the number of service connections. So domestic wells are those with 1 to 4 service connections, and state small water systems are 5 to 14 service connections. So how do we do this? 3 big steps. First was a risk and vulnerability assessment. It was primarily done using data from the Department of Water Resources, as well as some local data. And then we conducted a review of other counties' drought resiliency plan and attended workshops hosted by the Department of Water Resources to inform what local strategies we might implement locally. And then when we were kind of close to the end of the plan drafting those components, we invited relevant groups to review and comment on the draft. So the task force met 3 times in January, February, and March of this year to review and provide feedback and update the plan. And so the participating agencies, I have the full list here, but just high-level overview, various county departments, city representatives, water districts and utilities, and state and academic partners. As far as public engagement, we created a simple online survey asking residents what water systems they use, awareness of current drought conditions, their concern with drought as a whole, and what response strategies they might like to see from us if something were to happen. So we shared the survey first when we were just starting the risk assessment in May of 2025, and then in April of 26 when the plan was pretty much completed, we shared the survey once more, and then those public comments were incorporated into an appendix within the drought plan. And so what the plan does, so it uses a combination, it defines drought stages and activation triggers based off of the U.S. Drought Monitor. They have drought intensity levels that are publicly available and local indicators such as reported dry wells and things of that nature to signal when the task force should evaluate and recommend appropriate response actions without automatically implementing these strategies. So depending on the drought severity and duration, we have short and long-term response actions, and some, not all of them, here are the short ones. Packaged water transport, sharing a water vendor list, expedited well permitting, water conservation outreach program development, and other educational material development and distribution. And then for some of the long-term strategies, water treatment, technical support, maintaining a drought informational webpage, which we already have up, technical assistance to improve water efficiency of irrigation systems, installing water measuring devices, and state small water system consolidation, which would be tying in certain state small water systems into greater public water systems. And so there's no impact to the general fund. The plan development was funded by a DWR grant. And the plan itself identifies local, state, and federal assistance programs that may be pursued to implement some of the strategies outlined in the plan. And so today, I'm asking the board to adopt the plan, and if it is adopted, we would proceed with beginning seasonal readiness coordination and assembling the task force, or at least getting them together.
All right, hey, thank you very much, thank you. And with that, we'll open up the public comment period. No public comment, bring it back for the board for discussion.
Through the chair, I do have a question. So thinking about this plan, does adopting this plan create any future obligations for agricultural water users in the
No.
future? None at all?
No, it's completely separate from agricultural use.
Okay, good. And then I know it's primarily a planning document, but does it commit the county to any future expenditures?
No, the plan simply outlines response strategies that may be appropriate to the county. There is no requirement to actually implement these strategies. It's more of a guidebook.
Got it, okay. Move approval of the recommended actions.
Second.
We have a motion by Supervisor Flores, second by Supervisor Baines. Can we get a roll call, please?
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeyer?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 35.
Approval of the Sutter Yuba Behavioral Health Services Act Integrated Plan for fiscal years 2026 through 2029.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chair and board members. I'm Rick Bingham, the Assistant Director for Health and Human Services and the Behavioral Health Director. The Behavioral Health Services Act Integrated Plan was presented and approved at committee, and it was requested that it be taken here to the full board for your review as an appearance item. So I'm just here to walk you through the process of the plan development. So just as a brief review, Proposition 1 was passed by voters in March of 2024, and it reallocates funds from the previous Mental Health Services Act, created new permitted buckets of funding. It refocused the treatment populations that we serve, and critically, it reduced funding from the state by 5%. And it also required us to hold back an additional 4% for administrative burdens. And so those things resulted in a little bit over $2 million that were reduced or redirected from programs. The BHSA does require us to submit an integrated plan. And so we're kind of several steps in that process. So the first thing that we have here is the community planning process. That's not something new. That was something that we did under MHSA as well. What was a little bit new is that the BHSA is very prescriptive. There's less flexibility in what we are able to do. The state has much more regulatory oversight and mandates in BHSA. The integrated plan template was something also that the state provided. And what was new about that was they were also asking us to report on all of our programs, not just our BHSA-funded programs. So there was a lot more of a far reach that the state was taking in this integrated plan. And of course, there's the new priority populations that were identified. And we were asked to also address expenditure plans and workforce strategy. DHCS also provided us a budget template, which was extremely burdensome and intensive. And that asked us again to track our BHSA as well as non-BHSA expenditures and to account for those in the next 3 years. And so you can see there are 3 new funding buckets under BHSA. So we had to address those and address how our existing programs would fit in those new buckets. And then there is a submission and approval process, which is why we're here today. Part of this included a draft submission of our integrated plan to DHCS. And what was new about that is that it did require CAO approval and an approval from myself as the Behavioral Health Director. And then a 30-day comment period and then final submission to DHCS after board approval. So for our community planning process, we held 31 community meetings over about a 2-year period there. And listed there are many of the providers that partners that we met with in the community. So I'll just name a few: the Sutter Yuba Homeless Consortium, various law enforcement agencies, several different educational facilities. We did meet with both boards in 221 meetings, the Sutter County Auditor Controller, and then we had general community meetings, both in person and remotely. And through those processes, there was no substantive feedback that was provided by the community that would change anything in our plan. And so this last slide just talks about, again, the process for approval and why we're here today. So we did provide our draft plan to DHCS on March 31st, again, with the new requirement that the CAO sign off. So that was approved by then acting CAO Todd Retzloff, and then Steve Smith was briefed on the plan after his return. There was a 30-day public comment period that opened on March 31st when we turned in the draft. The plan was then approved by the Behavioral Health Advisory Board on May 14th. And just as a reminder, Supervisor Ziegenmeyer from the Sutter County Board and Supervisor House from Yuba County both sit on the advisory board. The plan then went to committee on June 2nd, where Supervisors Flores and Baines approved. And we also heard back from DHCS on June 15th, who stated they approved of our draft plan at that point. So this is the final step here today, is full board approval, and then we must submit our plan by June 30th to DHCS. And so this concludes my presentation to the board.
Thank you, Rick. All right, we are going to open up the public comment period. No public comment, close the public comment period, and bring it back to the board for discussion. Any discussion?
Move to approve.
We got a motion by Supervisor Baines, second by Supervisor Stevens. Can you get a roll call, please?
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeyer?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Supervisor Stevens?
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to item number 36.
Adoption of the fiscal year 2026-27 budget resolution.
Hello again for the third time. Laura Granados, your Assistant County Administrator. Over the past couple of months, we've reviewed revenues, expenditures, and operational priorities in the presentation of the fiscal year 26-27 recommended budget. We've provided the opportunities for the public to review and to comment on the budget. And following last week's budget hearings, no additions or revisions were proposed. The detailed list of capital assets and capital projects and staff changes are attached to the staff report. And actually, thank you. There we go. There we are on the calendar. And with that, staff respectfully requests adoption of the 26-27 CAO recommended budget with total appropriations at $551,625,648 in advance of the October 2nd deadline. And with that, if you have any questions.
Thank you so much. We're going to open it up for public comment. No public comment. We're going to close public comment, bring it back for the board for discussion.
Through the chair, I do have a question. You've done a great job sharing the budget through the whole process, and it's gone really well. But there's a couple of my questions that came to my mind is like, one is how sustainable is this budget going to be over the next 2 to 3 years with the decline we're seeing in federal and state support? I mean, it's something we haven't really talked about, but and if you have any thoughts on that, I'd like to hear them.
Yeah, I think with all of the federal and state volatility that we're seeing right now, the best that local agencies can do is on a year by year. We are projecting, cash flows, and we're measuring, where we are historically and where we are today, and if we can sustain it. We do have our reserves, and that does afford us some flexibility. But of course, as you know, it's just for 2 months of reserve, just 16.67%. So I think what we've all have been talking to our departments is to watch our revenues, especially this year more than others, to make sure that they're coming in as expected. We're already seeing some decrease in our realignment where the state owes us money. And so, that's the best thing we can do. We can just be vigilant, watch what's coming in, and then pivot.
Okay, yeah, and then you mentioned
that's-
revenue, so just as a follow-up question, that's something that's come to mind a lot, and I know we've had a lot of discussions, but could you give us your thoughts on like staff recommendations for revenue generation through like economic development rather than cutting services for the future?
Yeah, I know that, well, I don't know. Can I say, should I defer to you? I don't want to get us in trouble.
And I'm not looking for like direct, full answers on, but I'm just something for the staff to be recommending to us so that we can work together with you to come up with solutions for revenue generation. So just
Yeah.
wondering what's been thought out.
Yeah, to the chair, if I may. Yeah, great question, Supervisor Flores. One, we developed this budget consciously knowing and realizing that the state and federal implications are very real and yet at the same time unknown. We're waiting on the state budget right now to be finalized. We prudently changed some of our recommendations before bringing it to the board, including, for example, holding off on certain capital projects expenses to wait and see what the budget impacts will be on those. So we have been prudent there before bringing forth the recommendations. On revenues, another great question, because it's either making cuts and cutting costs or creating more revenue. And so we have a few things going on. One, we have Todd Retzloff, who's working diligently on economic development across the county, and he'll probably have some updates for us soon on that. We also have an upcoming presentation within the next month or so from Rachel Brown, who is a contractor that attends our, I know you're aware, but maybe the others are the general public. She is a former economic development director for City of Elk Grove, and she's been contracted to specifically look at Sutter Pointe, which is one of our biggest areas of opportunity because of the proximity to Sacramento and the businesses therein and the population there. But also, we're not forgetting about this area. I know we've had some recent rezonings. Supervisor Ziegenmeyer was integral to some of the rezoning opportunities that have gone on out Highway 20 into his district, where we're looking at bringing businesses. I know Mr. Retzloff, through economic development, is actually concentrating on some locating some businesses there as well. We're looking at everything from data centers, but which require a large power supply but it would have to be in a suitably rural area that didn't impact, surrounding residents, to ongoing opportunities with the city of Yuba City in developing Sutter County's properties within Yuba City as well, and working with them on bringing opportunities here. So overall, I think you're right. We, just the decision earlier, which was the right one, that the board made on the policy for the remote viewing and access, because by law, we have to do that, but it's just another unfunded mandate from the state, just piling on to the local consumer, and or essentially the local government, and it's impacting the local consumers. And some of the things that are being considered at the state level now, like one of their budget solutions is increasing a tax on healthcare plans. Well, healthcare plans are one of the most expensive things that people pay for if they don't have a job and they're through retirement, but even for businesses, they're paying for those. Yet that is a budget solution that they've come up with. And again, another impact on counties. They came up with, well, we'll just apply the sales tax to software and subscription software. Okay, well, citizens and governments use a lot of software, and we're going to have to pay for that. And Do we see some benefit from that? Probably a little bit. Will it make up enough from what we pay for it? We don't know at this point. But you're right. This was the most difficult budget year we've been through. And over the past several years, we've cut costs again and again and again. We've cut back some services as well. And we're looking at that even in HHS, which is usually one of the more protected areas, but with the uncertainty at state and federal levels, that's what it's coming down to now. But in a roundabout way, we are working diligently, and I know you are as well, on and the board on economic development in the county and bringing jobs and bringing education.
Okay, thanks for that. Do we know, I probably don't know it off the cuff, but if you can find out, what percentage of the budget is like attributable to the state, these state mandates, like the budget increase that we've had? Do we know?
We can get a number for you. We can also split it into, federal and state. I know we have that on one of the graphs, but yeah, that's a good question. How much is actually mandated versus funded?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just curious for a future question on that. And I think I'd like to direct staff at one point to really have some sort of workshop to further ideas, even a more of a public workshop to discuss economic development ideas and incentives, and then also go over the types of mandates that the state has placed upon us, and maybe we can hear from the public some ideas on how we can proceed. So with that, I'd recommend approval.
We got a motion by Supervisor Flores, second by Supervisor Baines. Can we get a roll call, please?
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeyer?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Aye.
Motion passes. I think that's a great idea. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had voted first. Sorry.
Supervisor Stevens?
Aye.
Motion passes. Excellent idea, Supervisor Flores. It's great that we just study session that then we all could chime in, where we could all talk. And I mean, we're looking at frontage roads, we're looking at infrastructure. There were some great ideas that were pitched last week, and I was so excited. I called a fellow elected in one of the cities to talk about it. I'm like, wow, it's just a great idea. But like I said, let's set that up sooner or later. All right, so motion passes. We're gonna do a follow-up reports and announcements.
Yeah, just one last thing. I wanted to mention Deputy County Administrator Jamie Yang. She had put together, primarily organized the CSAC credential program, so I just wanted to thank her, but especially for getting that going. This was really impressive that we had this many folks, and we also, that facilitated having Yuba County staff in there as well to fill out the program. So it's been a win, and just want to say thanks to Jamie and the rest of the staff who in the office who.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to bring back to supervisors for our district report, starting on our left here, or your right.
In the heart of Sutter County, the 2nd District has been really busy. A lot going on. Last week, we had the summer stroll last weekend. Great turnout, wonderful weather, just a great event. Coming up, you've already heard, but the Yuba-Sutter Fair coming up into the 2nd District. We expect over 100,000 participants, I believe, to show up this year. So very excited about having the Yuba-Sutter Fair back in the heart of Sutter County as well. And those are the only 2 announcements I have, but this is a big deal, right? So great stuff happening in the heart of Sutter County. Thank you.
Supervisor Stevens?
Thank you.
Okay, Supervisor Baines?
Yeah, sure. Again, I'd just like to reiterate, we have the Yuba-Sutter Fair coming up on Thursday. They make sure that everybody gets a chance. Please come out and attend and go support those kids in the livestock auction. I'd also like to make a request that our chair attends the welcome ceremony there on Thursday and re-recognizes the board members since they weren't here because they were actually judging. They were out judging today. That's why the board was not present. And also like to request 2 letters of recognition for The folks that are going to be performing on Thursday night and Friday night. Thursday night it's Miss Buja, and Friday night is Tony Garcia. So if those letters of, certificates of recognition could be made up for each of those individuals and have our chair present those. And I guess I don't know if there needed to be a formal request for what Supervisor Flores was asking about earlier, if this is proper, if it was okay to be asked during the budget session, but a request for that, and I really appreciate the sentiment, and I think it's great to bring the community together and have that as a town hall or as a workshop. I think it's a great idea. Also, I would like to close this meeting in honor of Leon Dove and ask for a letter of sympathy and condolences to be sent out to his family.
Thank you. Supervisor Boone.
Yeah, I would like to close today. The Live Oak softball girls, 10 through 12-year-olds, won their all-star division, and pretty big deal. Now they're on their way to the sectionals. It's going to be held in Reading. I also attended the summer stroll, great event. If you all missed it, but maybe next year. And lastly, of course, let's get to the Yuba-Sutter Fair. Let's support our kids, our future of Sutter County. Appreciate you all for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. I want to close in memory of Mr. Albert Schwal of Rio Oso. Albert, he used to work for us, and oh man, one of the greatest guys I've ever known. He'd give you the shirt off your back, and grew up in Rio Oso, passed away last week. It's going to be missed. And like to put on to come up with a letter that we could mail out, signed by all of us, towards the Area for Aging Agency, Meals on Wheels, in asking for, more letters of support to the state for more funding, rural kitchen grants. Like I said, we had reached out and talked about the SOL Hall when I served on that, bidding processes and so forth, working with nonprofit organizations and making meals, especially those kitchens. I believe the cost of the meals are about $12.50 a meal, so it's hard pressed for me to believe that we couldn't make meals like that in some of the rural kitchens. But like I said, we'll put a letter together for that.
Through the chair, I got one more after you.
Oh, okay, I will. I'd like to send some letters or some plaques, actually not plaques, but certificates to everyone that helped out for the stand-down dinner that we just had in May. It was an amazing event, and so we, as a board, we can give those to those individuals at the stand-down event that's going to be happening in August. It's a 3-day event at the fairgrounds for the veterans. It's all local veterans. If you've never been, go. It would blow you away. You would want to go every year, and you'd even want to volunteer because it's amazing to see the help. And like I said, that event goes to that. I mean, Mike Nichols and Shane Grego, they do such an amazing job. Ladies in the office and so forth. Like I said, volunteers, great. Another thing, Neil and myself, we've been working on a potential project with a potential developer here in Sutter County. And one thing we ran into, which I'd never heard of anything like this, is prime ag ground, designated prime ag ground by the state of California. And this is ground that's out of a FEMA flood zone. So with respect to agriculture, I used to farm, these guys are farmers, used to farm ag business. We love ag. Ag is the backbone of our county. 70% of our land mass is in a FEMA flood zone. So we're always going to be an ag farm ground, but we have to develop some ground with respect, working with the Farm Bureau in some of this ground into commercial industrial. So when we find out that, whoa, this is in prime ag ground, it's like we got to be able to figure out how to navigate through that, whether it's be working with NACO, working with CSAC, or whatever, to figure out how we can get through that, because it's not fair when we talked about bringing in revenues, sales tax, businesses. So like I said, especially when I believe 1/3 of this property is not even used as ag. So like I said, want to work on that. Get the area for aging. So other than that, we're going to bring it back to Supervisor Flores.
Yes, I wanted to mention that I want to close in memory of Bob Leal, too. Robert Leal passed away on Father's Day, and I'd like to close in memory of his memory.
Okay. First of all, that's sad. Wow, it's incredible. He's done a lot. I do want to thank Neil on the other side of that because Neil's been helping that developer navigate through that. So he's very appreciative of you, Neil, and all the work that you've done on that, helping him through that. Like I said, I just want to bring it clear to the public that it's not fair that the state comes in and says, you can't do this on this or that. And we're like, whoa, whoa. This is our county. Help us. You know, if you're telling us we can't do it, at least there's got to be a way to navigate through this. So if we could get some help, figure out how we get through the state on that.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve all the requests that were made.
We got a motion and a second by Supervisor Flores. Can we get a roll call, please?
Supervisor Boone?
Aye.
Supervisor Flores?
Aye.
Supervisor Ziegenmeyer?
Aye.
Supervisor Baines?
Motion passes.
Supervisor Stevens?
Oh, so once again, you gotta speed up with this. I'm such in it. It's like, I thought, sorry, Supervisor. It's like I'm so sorry. It's like there was a long pause there. So.
To the chair.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. To the chair.
Yes.
If I may, I forgot, but speaking of the summer stroll, I wanted to thank Jeff Williams, who's our environmental health manager, and Kimberly Hunt, who's the environmental health specialist 3 in environmental health, for their work on a Saturday when I called them. They had been working with a vendor who had been processing their permit for the summer stroll, and there were a couple questions not left answered. They answered them, and our staff on a Saturday went ahead and approved the permit. So I just really appreciate them going the extra mile to help a local vendor.
Okay, so I want to thank Say Love too, because for all you guys do, especially for this coming up week. I mean, you're going to see Say Love all over the fairgrounds. I mean, it's incredible.
And they were at the United Way
Well,
golf
you're all over.
tournament too.
Either way, it's amazing to see.
Vote anyway.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay. Well, we haven't adjourned yet. We haven't adjourned yet.
Yeah, Salove was at the United Way golf tournament that was held yesterday as well. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of people came out, and great event.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do
Watch. You can support or sponsor the community aware with Yuba-Sutter.LIVE.